Namaskaraye Krishna Prishtaye Bhutale Srimati Bhakti Yoga Satsang Namaste Saraswati Gurvani Puchani Vishesha Sikshapadi Paschati Desai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Srivasadi Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare
Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare.
So we welcome everyone. So today everyone is going to talk about existence of God. I didn't prepare anything, so that's the plan. Why do you think God exists and how, good reasons, and share your hearts with all of us. Then help each other. God is in with everyone's heart, so He is reciprocating with your devotion. So tell us how Lord is reciprocating with you, and inspire us.
Me, what I feel like there is always a supernatural power which controls everything, whatever we do, and every step I just feel that and I believe that. So that's it.
So you feel there is a supreme power that always controls us. Some examples you would like to share, one or two, how you think this control of supreme power is controlling us? Just
I don't know,
simple.
everything is either good or bad, especially when it's bad, I can feel it, don't do that, you'll get in trouble, don't do that, something.
Okay, say some voice, special voice telling you.
I know that I always a supernatural power, I feel that, and I just pray in me, I say, okay, whatever I do, and whatever this day, let it be a good day, and whatever I do, let it be for good. Just guide me in all the things.
So she feels there is some friend within herself who is advising you when the mind says, okay, it's okay, let me not do it right, but there is someone who is always advising you to do it right. Okay, so how many of us feel the same way? Let's not repeat the same realization. So how many of us feel the same way?
I do.
Anyone doesn't feel that there is someone in our heart, somewhere, heart or wherever, within ourselves, there is another friend, close friend, superior friend, senior friend, who is always guiding us in the right direction. We all feel that? Everyone feel? Okay, I also feel. Yeah. And it is said that, we always look for a friendship, right? Wonderful friendship we want always, we try for. It's rare, it's only like we can count in fingers, best friends, right? School days, college days, it's only best friends, one or two. It's hard to find because a friend in need is a friend indeed, they say, right? So it's hard to find a friend in need. So they are friends when there is no need. When you have a lot of money, let's say in school days, you have a lot of toys, you have a lot of friends. In college, if you have a bike, you have a lot of friends. I don't know how Mataji is. How do you get friends in college? But boys, if you have a bike, there is no problem. You get so many friends. Now maybe the standards change, car, or maybe something else. But how about Mataji's? How do you get? So maybe if you are very beautiful and maybe if you have so many boyfriends, then you have friends. Not boyfriend, but if so many boys are coming behind some girl, probably she'll become a heroine and so many followers for her. Whatever, right? There are many ways that. But when you really need, when you're in trouble, there is no one. They back off. Right? So when you become married and you have so many relatives now, in-laws, brother-in-law, sister-in-law, that law, this law, so many laws come in place. So that time it's really hard to find a friend. Especially the in-law side, it's very hard, right? So anyway, this is a problem. But even if there is a friend, how long is going to remain a best friend? How many of our school friends are in touch still? Couple of them, right? One or two. It's hard to keep in touch also. College friends, relatives, right? Even if they keep in touch, how long they can come? The point is,
girls are difficult to keep in touch.
correct. So once your children are your best friends until they have a boyfriend, girlfriend, right? Then sometimes they become best enemies also, right? they give us so much trouble. They do what we don't want them to do, and then they put us so much trouble. Anyway, so this is the great need for friendship in this world. And then when we grow old, then probably only wife and husband remain for each other. Right? And then we lost the parents, and everyone has their own life. That's why wife and husband relationship is a little higher. And then what happens? Even if how long they can stay together. So when someone leaves, well, there is hard stories. Sometimes one of my senior, he used to always give this example. You know, a couple, old couple, his aunt or someone, they always stayed together. Parents, the kids were settled, but they were always together, apartment. But one day, husband died. So she could, this is the same wife and husband, but so long the husband was living, they were like friends to each other, helping each other. But the time he left his body, she was very fearful. She couldn't stay in the apartment. He left during the evening or something, middle of the night. So she couldn't stay there. She had to go to the neighbors to take their help to stay with the dead body. So now what happens? Where is this friend? The husband is the friend who remains, or wife, right? But when they leave the body, so long they were living, we think they are the body. We don't know anything else. Now when we are attached to the body, we serve the body. We take care of the body, body has trouble, we take to the doctor. We do so many things. But when the body is, when somebody dies, we realize that the living person has left the body, and we realize this body is no good, and we are scared of the body. The body is useless. The body becomes food for other animals, or we bury it, or we... So the thing is, when they are living in the body, we don't know how they look, what his needs are. But when he leaves the body, we get scared, right? But anyway, this is good realization. But there is someone who is always with us. Paramatma. He is a guardian. There is someone who is always with us throughout this life, in their hearts, in youth, in old age, even after we are dead. We change so many bodies according to our desire. So this is a guardian, like a guardian. He comes life after life. There is no need. He is just coming as a true friend. He is a best friend. He is coming to guide us. But he doesn't want to force us. Just like best friends don't force us, right? Do they force? No. They always wait for us to change of heart. They are waiting for a change of heart. Same thing, Paramatma in our heart is not going to force us. He is a true friend. And the friend in need is a friend indeed, we said. So the friend in need, he won't come. So what is you're in a great danger. It's doubtful. But the greatest danger is that we may fall down from human life to a horrible living entity. Sometimes bugs. Horrible, their condition is horrible. But he is going to come in the same body. It is said their Paramatma and the soul are like two parrots sitting on a tree. One parrot is trying to enjoy, the other parrot is he's just looking. Whenever there is possibility, he is trying to give a good advice. So this is why everyone in this world are crazy about God. Everywhere in the world, God is the center. Even the atheist life, God is in the center. He's always denying God, but he's talking about God. Just like Kamsa. Kamsa is one, after Radharani, I think Kamsa is the best person who is always remembering Krishna. Out of fear. Only rasa is different, that's it. He's always remembering God. Oh, when is Krishna? Oh, in the dream, Krishna is coming for him. Everywhere Krishna is coming for him. So this is why this friend indeed is in need. This is Paramatma is a real friend in our heart. He is coming. Sometimes we become warm in the stool, horrible, but he's going to be there for us, with us. Prahlad Maharaj says this example. We are attached to the indriya trupti, sense gratification. You say, my dear friends, why are you so attached to this sense gratification? This sense gratification is available in any life. You know, the bird, we see there's a nice pond here, so many ducks and birds. They're all doing sense gratification. They're also eating, they're also sleeping. They can tolerate better. Winters we are turning out the heaters, they don't turn on heaters. They do better austerity than us. And but this is how Prahlad Maharaj is saying, even the worm in a stool is also enjoying. They are also reciprocating, they are reproducing. So if you are stuck in the same, this eating, sleeping, mating and defending, my dear friend, you are making your other supreme friend, true friend also travel with you. Many bodies. This is not good. So why this friend is coming with us? Always. Because he wants to be protecting us. He wants to give good guidance always. So this guidance comes from him also, and our own intelligence also guides us. Gives through intelligence. So like this is one reason. Okay. So anybody has any other strong feeling that why you think God exists? That is something. So why don't we start in a round?
Actually, she is one of my answered prayers of God.
Wow.
And everything, my husband, I'm fine. Everything I think I'm blessed by God.
Whatever you desire is giving.
Yeah.
That is one simple way to say. Wonderful.
Whatever he gives is fine. I'm happy with whatever he gives.
Even beyond.
So how much percentage of your desires, even if you're not, without praying, you just thought about something, probably is reciprocating with you, right?
Yeah, whatever my prayers, he has answered.
Okay, let me ask everyone about this point. Okay, so how many of us feel the same way? Mataji, Silpa? Sometimes. Who else you feel is giving you? You?
Not all.
No.
Something is restricted.
What is giving you wonderful husband?
That's my answer.
Okay, Mataji, how about you?
What?
Since Sridevi Mataji's realization is that whatever, without praying also, whatever she desires, in the heart, so Lord is reciprocating.
It takes time. But
Yeah,
still I'll
but
give
slowly
it.
and surely. You feel.
Yeah.
But thank you for being so sincere. That you're not artificially saying it. Because sometimes many of us don't feel this. Right? We want so many things. Even devotion we want. Sometimes we don't get it. Right? Lord, I want bhakti.
I want to say something.
Yeah.
What I feel is, I get like 70% of the things, 30% I don't get, and I say 80-20. That 20 which I don't get, then I think I don't deserve those 20%.
That's a good
I don't
relation.
get that thing. And whatever I deserve, you always give it to me. Like, if I get 8 on 10, that means I deserve those 8. But maybe sometimes I have an unwanted demands which shouldn't be fulfilled. He said, no, I won't give it to you.
This is a wonderful realization.
I wanted to say something.
Yes,
We want to hear later. After 2 years, we want to see how we have realization. So,
Okay. Whatever the God has always given me what I need, like not what I ask, but I always feel He has given me what I require at that point of time.
It's not what you want, it's what you
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the better. He gives you what you need, not what you want.
you feel the same way, Mata?
Because you may ask something, you may want something which is not required for you, which you don't deserve to get it. Sometimes He gives us what we think we don't deserve, much ahead of we get it. That happens a lot of times.
Right. But this giving, not giving, based on this, we may have faith or no faith, right? But maybe sometimes we get confused. Some people think God is dead. They claim like that. God has created this universe and he became old and he died. So that's why there is a lot of mess here. That's why these bad people are becoming good and good people suffer. So much chaos is going on. That's how they feel. Anyone of you feel like that? Today everyone is taken birth in India, so you shouldn't feel that way. Because in India, the way we grow up is, from the childhood they tell us what is karma, or you're suffering your reactions. Everything is so like feeding with food. The philosophy is fed with the milk and food for us. So, but unfortunately other cultures, Western world, they don't have this philosophy, this background. It's natural for them, no guidance. Parents are busy. They just, give them a lollipop and chocolate and that's it. And they grow up and... but see, the easy way to understand this is, God is like a father and we are like children. Just like how we are doing with our children, He does with us. Same thing. He's the best father. Like, do we give whatever our kids need, ask, or what do we do? We only give what they need. Sometimes they are very persistent, they are like too crazy about stuff. So we want to be normal parents, so okay. Like that, sometimes your effort also wins, but not necessarily that He is pleased with your efforts. Right? So,
Brother Sandhya Mata, she is getting her answer through Krishna actually. He was having the same problem and just you are giving her the answers. So
anyway,
Krishna is reciprocating her.
When coming here, we were discussing.
Discussing the same thing.
See, that's how Krishna is doing himself, right?
See, she has
He's in everyone's heart. See, many things we think by chance. Many times we see it doesn't happen by chance. Fraction of a second, we're just passing in 60 miles per hour. Still, there is a chance that something we see. Many examples are there in each one of our life. So, but the best way to think is like He is a Supreme Father. No? He is just like the children. We are like His children. And now our measurement relatively is based on where we took birth and how we grew up and what our realization is. Based on that, we think, oh, if I get this, then this is good for me. Just like the kids, we send them to whatever school, based on their friends, they come and ask us desires. Right? Same thing, but not necessarily is the best thing that we are asking. So as parents, we know, that's why we choose the right school. In America, especially Indians, they look for a best rating school because they don't want their children to go to and associate with anyone and everyone. That's why I have to spend extra money and time and effort. They stay 2 hours from here. We have to take another apartment, maintaining like two houses. Why? Because we want to give them good association. So they develop good desires. They ask the right things to God and me. So my life will be also selfish. This is an investment also. Right? So this is why God not necessarily answers all our desires. But if our desires sync with His desire, surely He will. And we don't even understand how greatly God loves His devotees. And by the way, for us, the measurement of God's love is how rich we become or how peaceful we are, right? But when we become sincere, pure devotees, that measurement will change. It becomes opposite. It becomes exactly opposite. So like Bruhad Bhagavatamrita Purana is there, given by Sanatana Goswami. There, if Narad Muni was going to each of these great devotees and inquire, you are a great devotee of the Lord. So when he went to Lord Indra, who is the king of the heaven, he said, no, he doesn't stay here. He am always troubled with the demons. Look at Lord Shiva, he is the greatest devotee. He has renounced everything. And so he went to Lord Shiva, Brahma suggests Shiva. Shiva suggests Parvati is saying, Lakshmi Devi is the best devotee. She's always serving the people of the Lord. Even though the Lord is not reciprocating, she's always in no return, just like any other wife's feel. No return, she's serving. And Lord Shiva is interrupted. He said, no, actually, Prahlad Maharaj is greater devotee. You see, when Narsingha appeared, everyone was so scared to go near him. Even Lakshmi Devi was scared. No one was able to pacify him. But Prahlad went and he could pacify Lord. So he is a greater devotee. So anyway, I am making it short, but these are wonderful descriptions are there. Next time we can discuss in detail. So Narada goes to Prahlad Maharaj. Prahlad Maharaj, he says, he was embarrassed first of all when he was praising. First of all, Prahlad Maharaj became devotee due to Narada Muni's preaching, even he was in the womb of mother. You are my guru, how you can praise me? See, how you are saying I am a devotee, great devotee. I am not, because Shastras explain, Bhagavad Gita also is explained, if God likes someone, He will take away, sometimes He will take away the material possession, so they make him free. And so he can concentrate on, sometimes with money, so many other attachments come, right? So many friends come and so many responsibilities, so many stuff come. So when our heart becomes pure, sometimes He takes away stuff. But Prahlad is saying, see, how unfortunate I am that Narsingha Devi is asking me, is giving me so many benedictions. That means I am not pure. If I am poor, He should take away, but He is offering me. We all know that when we have paid, what do you want? Is it Prahlad? Then he replies, my dear Lord, I don't want to do business with you. I didn't pray, I didn't glorify you in a return for something. I just do unconditionally out of love. So he is feeling so bad that the Lord is trying to offer him something. Then he is saying Pandavas are the best. So they are always with the Lord and they have went through so many calamities. He is always with them. Actually Hanuman. He says Hanuman. Hanuman is better. He is engaged in service always to the Lord. I am just praising and Hanuman is always engaged. He went through so many troubles. And he goes to Hanuman. Hanuman says, Pandavas are the best. So their standard of love of God is how much trouble they got. So it's always, that's why I want to just mention this concept. Our standard is how much opulence we have, but their standard is how much. Kunti Devi, her prayers are famous. She is praying for calamities. When there are calamities, you are with us, Krishna. When there is no calamities, you are leaving. So I always pray for calamities. So when Narada Muni goes to Pandavas, he was first thing he was mentioning he was hearing that everyone was discussing. Let us pray for a big yajna or big calamity so that we can see God again, so Krishna again. So anyway, so 2 points, right? One is there is a true friend with us, life after life, and there is a true benefactor. He is always giving us what we really need. And believe me, everything that we go through is a blessing in disguise. This blessing in disguise we use for few things, but everything is a blessing in disguise. Even the worst thing that happens in our life is a blessing. It's a matter of how we realize it. It's a matter of how we can go in the eyes of God and look at it. Otherwise, everything is a blessing in disguise. So, your point, you would like to say? I can repeat probably instead of passing on the mic.
I just never expected I want this, but I always curious to see what God is given, means what He want to give me. And I believe truth is God.
So that we can hear the volume.
Okay. I feel truth is God, and I want to be always truthful. That's it, simple.
So let me understand it better. Truth, absolute truth. In other words, God is absolute truth. Right? I mean, beyond all these relative things, what we see, He is
Beyond all those
Yeah, wonderful. That's the one way of defining God actually. They say God means absolute truth. In other words, everything we see is relative here. In this material world, all the suffering, goods and bads, all relative. Right? We get a toothache, oh, so painful. But there's a dentist right here, doctor. So if you don't get toothache, how will she treat and how will she get money?
She is a dentist. She is a doctor. She is a dentist.
Oh, okay.
She's a doctor.
Right, I'm got confused. Yeah. She's a doctor, sorry.
Who's a dentist?
Yeah.
Daddy, I want to say something else because you're the dentist. If you got hurt, you don't need a doctor. You need Krishna.
She just says in words, you know.
Krishna wants us to serve you through us.
That's a good point.
Yeah, so another realization about this truth, right? Absolute truth. Yeah, in reality, this is the only truth that we can perceive. You know, truth beyond all the truth, absolute truth. Everyone is seeking for that, but everyone is realizing it to different layers, different degrees. Someone realizes absolute truth. They say, "Oh, he is all over, all prevailing. He is a light." Someone says, "Oh, he is there everywhere. He is in everyone's heart." Someone says, "No, actually, he is a person." So, like this, they realize this absolute truth in many ways. Majorly, 3 different ways. Just like Prabhupada gives an example of how we realize sun. Sitting in this room, we know the sun is not there right now because we don't see the sun rays. And someone says, "Oh, when there is a morning, you can see sun. In the afternoon, you can see sun. You can put 10 different buckets. You can see sun in 10 different buckets. Also, evening." So, like this, sun is all prevailing, localized. So that is Paramatma. Brahman, first realization is through the rays. Oh, his presence is not there. He is always omnipotent. Like the Muslims, they realize that. Brahman realization. Paramatma. Paramatma, a lot of yogis, they meditation, they want to see Lord within their heart. But sun, absolute truth is not that, okay, sun is not raising. We are actually going around him. So this is like that when we realize sun is a person. I'm actually going around him. Right? Huh?
Reverse.
Vedic way is reverse. So, the sun is a person. So that is the Bhagavad. Absolute truth, the highest realization is to realize him like a person. He is a person. If I have a form, he also has a form.
Sometimes I'm getting whatever I ask and sometimes I'm not getting. So I feel like when I'm not getting, so I'm not serving God properly, that's why I'm not getting. So maybe he don't like me. So like that, I feel like that. But yeah, it's real, you know, when we are suffering with something, so definitely we remember God a lot. More than our nearest people.
So, you have any logic or reason for anything else, like scientifically, if you have any points also, please tell. Okay, this we already discussed. So, if you're not getting...
What I get, no, I'm very happy.
Right. But this point we already discussed, right? If you're not getting means that means he wants us to. He's a blessing, yeah. He wants us to remember. So now we should start thinking like the pure devotees. And Mataji, who said about the control, right? Control. You said about the control, right? See, the one way to think is, see, in this world you see there is a cycle. For eating cycle also, control cycle also is there, right? If you see, if you go and observe in the lake, one living entity is controlling other. If you go in the forest, there's a cycle.
Food cycle.
The lion,
Food cycle.
food cycle. Yeah, the lion controls everyone in the forest, but we control the lion, right? And then somebody else is controlling us. So that is a very simple way to understand. God is controlling. Devatas are controlling us actually. If you don't directly go into God's control unless we become pure devotee. But the Devatas control us. But the God is controlling the Devatas. So, and there are so many laws that control us. Right? Everywhere there is a law. Where there is no law. Even if you don't believe in the law of karma, there is so many laws. You want to walk in this apartment complex, you have to abide by law. You take your car out, you want to come inside, you have to swipe the card, traffic light, stop sign, yield sign. Everywhere there is law. And the scientists realize there are so many laws also in this material world. But somehow, some atheists deny there is lawmaker. It's not logical, right? If there are so many laws, then how there are so many laws without lawmaker? Can we deny there is no government is not functioning? It's all stupid. But if the traffic lights are working, the roads are going on, the water is coming, the system is working proper. That means there is authority and control. Same thing. If the world is working, there is a lawmaker is there. Just to put one satellite in one place, there is a huge function. Hundreds of people work together. There is a control room always. How is the Earth then sitting in the orbit? To put one satellite, there is so much of stuff, right? But how is the Earth, Mother Earth, or all these planets? How is this exactly? It is cosmos. Cosmos means order and harmonious. How exactly the 365, the cycles come, the winter and summer come. How the rains come and the rivers flow and the ocean the water in the ocean evaporates and how the plants go. How everything is. There is no system like this that we breathe out and the plants breathe in. We breathe out poisonous carbon dioxide. No one can generate if someone can come up with such a factory, they become the best, richest man in the world. They can beat Apple product. You can create something that your output becomes input. You can beat in 3 days. But Lord is so great. So we'll continue. Madhuri, you want to share? You tell and then you also explain.
So I guess two things that come to my mind. The first one we mentioned earlier, how by chance things seem to, we feel like things are almost like coincidence. Things happen by coincidence, or it's almost like it's magical or something like that. But in my experience, a lot of these coincidences have been how people have come into, how people have met God or come to Krishna consciousness. So I can give you one example from this weekend. There's one devotee, her name is Elisa. Actually, she came here once. I don't know if you remember her, Elisa Mata. So she was doing Harinam on campus and she bumped into one student. And they just randomly met on campus while doing some Harinam or something. And then she never really met the student again for a long time. But this past weekend we went to downtown Detroit and we were doing Harinam again. And we found the same student in downtown Detroit. It's not the same place, it's a different city than the university even. So we bumped into the same student, and he was really excited that he knew Elisa Mata for one thing, and he was also very reciprocative during the Harinam. In fact, we had boxes with cookies in them, and he immediately decided to take up the cookies. He took the box of cookies and himself started distributing them to everyone. He's met Elisa Mata once, and then he just bumps into us downtown Detroit in a completely different city. And it doesn't, he's distributing cookies with us for a long time and he's chanting with us. It doesn't just end there, because after that, when we went back to the temple, he came back with us and he stayed in the ashram and he was there in the temple the very next day. This is someone who, it's just, you think, wow, what a coincidence that we bumped into him once in Ann Arbor, a different city, and then again in downtown Detroit. And he ends up coming to the temple and staying with us overnight. And so, you think coincidence, magic or something like that. But this is when this is where the existence of God comes out. And there are lots of stories like this, especially with the students in the universities. So these are very, this always makes me realize the existence of God. And so that's one point. The second, I guess this is a little, different, but oftentimes when I am, doing kirtan or amongst the devotees.
Can you say the prayer for a little bit?
Oh yeah, we can say the prayer.
Yeah. You can say it.
No, I want to sing.
Oh, she wants to say.
Okay, go.
Don't forget what you want to say. Yeah, please.
Shari Rara Vijayan
Rirara Vidyajan
Chandriya Tayekal
Jodendriya Tahekal
Jive Falavi Saya Sagara
Jive Falevi Shaya Sagare
Karma Jivayati
Karmati Divayati
Labhamashu Durmati
Lovamashu Durmati
Take Jita Kotina Samsare
Take Jita Kotina Samsare
Krishna Bora Doyamoy
Krishna Bala Doyamoy
Koribara Jiva Joy
Koribare Jiva Joy
Sva Prasadana Dilobai
Prasadana Dilobai
Sayanama Mritapa Radha Krishna Guna Gao
Radha Krishna Guna Gao
Premera Ko Chaitanya Nitai
Premera Ko Chaitanya Nitai
Jai Mai Jai Nitai
Jai Mai Jai Nitai
Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai
Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai
Gaur Premanandi Hari Hari Bolo
Gaur Premanandi Hari Hari Bolo. Mataji, just quickly 2 lines tell the meaning, how we should read the mood of the stuff.
So the prasadam prayer, it basically makes us realize how the least controllable part of our body is the tongue, and we should always be aware that the tongue can cause great harm in our lives. So by eating this mahaprasad, by prasadam, we can control the tongue so we can use it better in serving God and for a better purpose. So
Thank you. So I hope you didn't forget what you wanted to say.
no, I didn't.
Yeah.
It's very simple. I just wanted to say that most often, I guess, in time when I'm spending in like temple or with devotees and doing kirtan or harinam, it's just the existence of God comes through, I guess it's more emotion kind of of all the people around you, and just by chanting the Maha Mantra, I guess it's kind of not a very tangible thing to explain. I don't know. It's more like a feeling that you get that there is something, some kind of connection that you really appreciate, and you can feel it. It's like a feeling about the existence, that God exists. So that's the other way that I often acknowledge the existence of the Lord. Yeah. Jai.
Thank you, Mata. So anyone has similar, more relations on Mata? You said 2 points, like how Lord, because He's in everyone's heart, He's able to connect people to the right path the first example she gave is how this devotee in different city, how he met, and how he met in other place, and how he is able to progress in spiritual life. Same thing, not just in Lord can connect us in spiritual path, He can also connect us in the Maya path, based on our desire. So if we are ready, if your heart is ready, if you have a sincere desire, then He is going to show us the right path. That's how people follow different religions. Sometimes Christians become Hindus, Hindus become Christians, and spiritual. And all this is going on based on their desire. Based on your desire, you get attracted to certain path, and Lord will directly connect you. You know, He's in the heart. They say, by your desire, Krishna helps you find a guru. And Guru will now, and He will just put you in the hands of Guru. Based on your desire. And the Guru will become representative of the God. Then you can see God in Guru. You can serve Guru like you serve God. But not like, you know that God is different than God. He is just a servant of God. And then it is said, scriptures say that Guru now takes you to God. First God will show you Guru, and then now Guru will show you God. So that's how it is done. So based on our desire, He will put us in a different path. So you all came here not by chance. Because you have some sincere desire somewhere. That's how you are able to connect. We devotees always, but one great thing is in this moment, especially Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's moment, the philosophy you find here, it is no match. In this moment, we not only study the philosophy of Bhagavad Gita, we also study the philosophy of all religions in the world. Nowhere else you do this comparison. We compare, contrast, we do everything. We know everything what's going on in the world in the name of God. So you will not fall prey to anything. That's how I claim that you're all the most fortunate people. In other paths, maybe they teach their own thing and then just they make you conditioned for that thing. But we understand, sometimes we know what the other, like Mayavadis it's called, like they say you become God. You know, their whole philosophy, their whole pitfalls, everything we know in and out. Better than them we know that. So that's how, we are all connected, because Paramatma in the heart, He reciprocated with us. There's another point I wanted to say, in between I want to add some logic and reason also. See, when there is a pain, what does it indicate? When we have a pain, what does it indicate? Pain. No, normally, without being God also, in the Western world also, when they say pain, they go, we need to, something wrong, we need to take care of something. That's what it is. Pain is actually good. Pain is actually helping us to fix something, fix a problem. If there is no problem, what is a terminal illness? The dangerous thing is that some of these cells, cancer cells, they don't cause you pain. They're happily there, like other cells, they're killing all other cells. It's terminally ill now, you don't have many days left. It's better to have pain. Same thing now, another reason, another good reason that is that the pain in this world itself is a proof that there's something wrong. We need to fix something. Not patching up. We need to understand the root cause, why there is this pain. First of all, why there is birth, why there is death, why there is old age. This is self-proof there is a controller. Right? And then controller, whether we are qualified or not, whether he is close or far. After this. Okay. See, I remember this. Any of you, all of you own something, right? Own something, some electronic product, some property, something. You're from India, you own something in India. You've rented some properties, you did something, right? How do you establish your ownership? You're in America, right? You somehow or other, by some other means, you establish you are the owner of that place, right? Correct?
Documents.
Right? You have control, because I'm here, I have some properties in New Jersey, so I have my representative. Somebody, they have to pay me the rent, otherwise how we manage it. Same thing. The Lord, He establishes His proprietorship through many ways, through His representatives. In every universe, He is establishing that He exists through the scriptures. Right? Is there anyone else establishing this? Is there a conflict? Just like I sometimes think, I'm here and I'm in New Jersey. What if somebody else, have you ever thought somebody else go in my name and take care of the problem? Very rare. Even they do it, it's temporary. They can't continue.
So you mean like cheating?
Yeah. Yeah. It's very rare. So the same thing with God. He is perfect in control. No matter whether you're atheist, you're a pure devotee, you're middle class, He has a place for you to practice your faith. He has a religion ready for you to practice. You want a Walmart religion? Yes, He is ready for you. He has a Walmart guru. You want a Target guru? Yes, He has a Target level. You want to go a street level chai? Yes, He is ready for it. You want to go to 5-star level? It is ready for you. So that's how He is involving all of us nicely and watching us advance in spiritual life. You want to
I don't have much to say. Always I feel like my prayers are answered, and I prefer like praying for others rather than for my own self. If I want something, I'll tell my mom to pray for me, and I won't pray for. And I believe the prayers like for others, it will be more powerful than for you. Like God answers the prayers. If you really feel that you have to help someone, you can get it from God. Like if you really pray for others. So I believe that. And my prayers are always answered, but it may be some delay, but it was always answered. So I'm blessed. I never expected like this should happen. I never thought it will like happen whenever it's needed. It happens. So I never asked for anything for me. If I feel like it will happen. So and I prefer like praying for others, which was always answered.
Thank you very much. She's revealed a great secret. So we should ask our friends to pray for us. So this is called referral system. Right? LinkedIn. Today's world, to give you a job, they look in LinkedIn. How many people are referred? So this is God's LinkedIn network we should make. You should make one site and refer. This is a great devotee, he did something. He doesn't need a software, but he knows in our heart. Yeah, that's what I mean. If you ask her,
when you pray for others, it really happens. Like one of my friends, she suffered a lot because of her personal things. Like myself, my mom and our entire family prayed for her. Like within a month or something, like she got recovered from the crisis.
Yeah. See, that is the difference. The atheists generally, anything good happen, they take credit. Okay? Oh, I did it. That's what they say. Something fails, God is dead. This world is bad. So for all good they take credit, for all bad they blame others. See the atheist. For a devotee, everything a devotee does is completely opposite. A spiritual person, what he does is completely opposite. For all good he knows he's worth nothing. I mean, what we can control. There's a funny story that I just remembered. Just Radhana Swami Mercy, he just made me remember. So there was Maharaj was giving in the university some talk. And suddenly one person said, I am God. I am God. I know everything. I am God. I am God. He was like that. Maharaj was quiet and then somehow by God's arrangement, somehow the bathroom door was locked that day. So he wants to get in the bathroom. It was a long class. Radha Maharaj generally gives 1 hour, 1.5 hour class. He wants.
Who wanted to get in the classroom?
The guy who said, I'm God, I'm God.
That guy who claimed himself to be God.
Yeah, he wants to go to a bathroom.
Okay.
And then he said, can somebody open the bathroom? So Maharaj said, oh, you said you're God, you can control. So he can after 10 minutes, no, please open. You're God. No, I'm not God. I said, you say you're not God, then we'll open the door. Then no, I'm not God. Then they let the door open, and then he relaxed and he came out. Then he started saying, actually, I'm God. It's my Leela. So, the point is, this is my philosophy.
Like when we do prayer or something, like we should have the faith in what we are asking. Without faith, when we do some prayers or something, we should have the faith while asking. Like we should not doubt whether it happens or not. And there is something like sacrifice kind of thing. If you do this, I'll do that. So I don't know whether it works or not, but those kind of arguments or something and doubtness should not happen while getting the prayers. It might work or it may not, but I don't believe in those. Like you should have the faith anyway. Whether it happens, you have to leave it to the God and let it happen. That is true.
Are you saying you should negotiate or you should not negotiate?
No, you should have the faith first of all. Ask for something. So that is the.
Now you
said you do this and do that in
It should not be like.
It shouldn't be that.
No, 1 second. Swayam Prabhu, can you explain that story that you said last week? How Shiva and Parvati, they asked this question, right? How you say you go to Dham and all the sins are destroyed. How much they believe in what they do. Just make it short.
Can I say something that
Okay, the story goes on like it's a Mahakumbhavela, you all know, right?
No.
It happens once in 12 years. And it is believed that one person who at least sees a person who has taken birth in Ganga during that Mahakumbhamela, he himself gets resolved of like all sins, whatever he has committed in all his lives. And whoever person goes to that Kumbhamela and takes bath in the Ganga at that auspicious time, or that during that 12 days, there is no sin within him. That's what is the common belief. And it is believed that this person will go back to Godhead once he has taken bath. Then even that in the scriptures it is mentioned that. So Parvati had a doubt. Like in Kumbh Mela, like millions and millions of people are coming. So if this is true, in what is given in scripture is true, then how come it is like still these people are suffering in the earth or going back to hell? How is it happening? So then she asks her husband, Shiva, and Shiva says that the reason is only one thing. In whatever they are doing, they are not believing in what they are doing. And Parvati feels like offended, like what? What are you saying? Like devotees, they are coming, and most of them are your devotees. They are going to Ganga, taking bath, and they are in this cold. They are doing this. How come it is you are saying this? Shiva said, okay, you won't believe like that. I will take you. And they went to Ganga. They went to the same place, Ganga Ghat, where devotees were in line to take bath, and in another line they are coming out. So they went in the form of an old man and an old woman. And Shiva prepared it like he is near death. And he was lying on her lap in this Snan Ghat, where the line is like devotees will take bath and then come out. Now Parvati was saying, Parvati was actually crying out to everyone who was coming out of the Ganga and saying that, oh, pious people, you have now taken taken bath in Ganga and all your sins have been resolved. Now you please give a drop of Ganga water on my husband's mouth, because it has been ordained that my husband was a very sinful person, and the only resolution, only remedy for him, his sins, whatever he has committed, is that somebody pious person without any sin should give a drop of water to him. And she was crying this thing to everyone, each and everyone who were coming out of the Ganga and then going back to their houses. But every person, like every person was saying that, I cannot do this because I have done so many sins in my life. So, and she was saying one more condition, like if the person who is giving giving the water is having at least one sin, this person will die immediately. And if the person is not having any sin, then this person will revive. That's the condition. That's the Varahi vote. That's what she was saying. But every person was afraid of doing this, because when they are taking bath in the Ganga during Mahakumbha Mela and all auspicious times as per Vedic scriptures, but they are not confident that they didn't have any. They don't have any sin. That they are not confident. So once the entire period is over, she was tells me Parvati that, okay, now see, this is the reason why these people doesn't not get any benefit out of what they are doing. So then that's the moral of the story. That basically it's like whatever we do, if it is ordained by scriptures, by acharyas, we should not doubt that. It's because all of these spiritual things, I say all of this, it's not like 90%. It's all of these spiritual things cannot be experimented. It's just by hearing. Only by Sruti we can understand.
So what is the moral of the story? That they don't believe that Ganga is so pious and they are free of the sins?
Yeah, they don't believe that, but just by taking bath in Ganga, their sins will be gone. They don't believe that, so it doesn't happen.
So, but Goddess Parvati told that you have to give a drop of Ganga to my husband if you are sin free, right?
If you are sin free. So, if a person, as per scriptures and as per ordaining, it is like once you take bath, you are sin free.
So they still doubt that they are
just a formality
that they went inside and she said, if you have one sin left, then you will be dying.
Right.
And they said, no, we are not sin free.
Because they were not confident that they are sin free.
Okay.
And another sin, this is also not convincing. There is another very simple story, but that's why it's not by Lord Shiva or Prabhu. It's by Ramanujacharya. He was traveling in Sri Lanka along with his disciples.
Yeah, sure.
In Sri Lanka there is a big temple pond where a lot of fishes are there. And Ramanujacharya had in his hand some prasadam which he got from Sri Lanka Natha temple. And he was eating the prasadam, and while walking he reached the temple pond along with his disciples. At that time he wanted to teach disciples a lesson. So what he did, he ate a couple of water prasadam, like suppose it was peanuts. So he ate a couple of peanuts and threw the rest of that peanuts into the pond. And immediately the thing is like the disciples were astonished to see like 400 forms of Vishnu rising out of this temple pond and going back to Vaikuntha. They were able to see it actually. The disciples of Ramanujacharya. So they were perplexed. What is this happening? What is this Mahavidya which Guru is performing? Then Ramanujacharya was saying like, it's quite simple. It's very easy. I just gave my Mahaprasada. That's why they are going. And this is Mahaprasada of Sri Lanka. That's the magic. Then disciples were saying, we are also partaking your Mahaprasada, and also we are partaking of Sravanananda Mahaprasada every day and 3 times in a day. Why we are not going back to Vaikuntha? Then Ramanujacharya says the same thing, like it is because you guys have in your mind, in the corner of your mind, the doubt that whatever, even if you know that okay, this Mahaprasada, whatever we are eating also is Mahaprasada, we all know that it is sin freeing thing, but we don't actually 100% believe. Whereas, because we have this Vivechana Buddhi that's given by God to humans. So, whereas animals, whereas fish doesn't have that Vivechana Buddhi. Fish was neutral, it just eats it, it got the prasada, it ate it. Immediately its life is full.
So the creatures in the pond, who ate that prasadam, they were freed from the life and went to Vaikuntha.
They went directly to Vaikuntha.
Okay.
And that's the mercy of Ramanujacharya.
Okay.
Yesterday in Vaikuntha.
Yeah, it's very
This is another example, right? Somebody asked Prabhupada got this. They were interviewing about his life story. Like before Prabhupada, many came, traveled to the Western world. Somebody was saying that Prabhupada had great faith in the holy name. He believed. That's why he is able to do that. You know, it's not easy to 7 years old man to come to Western world with $7. Right? Can you imagine the degree of faith he has? He believed it 100%. So, if you all can believe it, you chant, do kirtan, we can see wonders.
This is a very complicated question actually. I have also tried why atheists don't believe in God and atheists believing in God, and others believing in God. It is not very. I can say that there is very commonality in between them. How to explain that? Okay, fine. Yeah. Regarding God's existence, yes, everything cannot happen just like that. Somebody is there to make the game go. So that's the reason I think God exists.
Thank you. So Prasanna Prabhu's point is that nothing happens by chance, right? There is a person behind everything.
Yeah.
Something like that. How many of you think that that things happen by chance? Like some of the scientists believe that this world is created by chance. How many of you think that this world came by chance? Have any doubt? Any probability of this coming by chance?
No, because we don't understand it, that's the reason we think it that way.
Sometimes it happens by chance.
No,
Why? For example?
You don't know what's going to happen, and suddenly if it happens,
No, have you seen anything happening by chance?
anything happening by chance, which you are not prepared,
That is fine, but
and something suddenly comes.
let's say in our house, right? Let's start slow. Very simple. Then peanuts came. How the peanuts came?
Let me give
Yoga, come here. Yoga, come here.
I will help you. Come.
You are in Tampa. You have a house in New Jersey. Let's say you are in Tampa and your house is in New Jersey. We know that. So let's say tomorrow you work for Citigroup, right? So let's say tomorrow Citigroup says you are transferred back to New Jersey. And you don't know, you're not prepared for that. It's just by chance. Right? That's something which you say is unexpectedly. Suddenly you are told something. That's what I mean by chance.
But nothing happens by chance. There are many factors. First of all, the first thing is your desire, your qualification, and there are so many other things, and then the Paramatma also plays a role. Okay. Before coming to Tampa, I had 5 different options. This was my last option. Even if I had to come by force, this was my temporary option. So, Lord's plan, He tricked me. He made that none of these 4 worked. Okay, this was my last option. Because in my mind, I was thinking Tampa is not a good place because I have temple service and all these things, my belongings and stuff like that. And I want to green card, other things, Canada. But He wants to teach me, show me, because like the kids, many times you tell them good things, they don't. It's hard to explain them. They have to realize, they have to experience it. So He put me in the situation that after bringing me here, it's like I got all the 5 things that I wanted to do with other options also. With this, He also gave me other things. If you want, I can explain later in detail how it is. See, option 2, what I want to achieve by taking option 2, I am achieving here. What I wanted to achieve by option 3, I am also achieving here. What I wanted to achieve by option 4, also I am getting here. And beyond, I am getting service. No, I completely realize that this is God's plan.
Oh, you mean
but how?
He knows that what He's going to
Yeah,
do. We think it's by chance, but
yeah, it's the same
He
thing.
has a plan for us.
Exactly, nothing happens.
Go there, do this.
Even the grass doesn't move by chance. That's what the scriptures say. So, the point is, what about this scientists are saying everything came by chance? Big Bang Theory says some big thing happened, and we have the presentation next time, we can see details. See, let's say there is somebody is walking in the seashore. Prabhupada gives this example, and you find a watch, and somebody comes and say, "Oh, this watch is created by the waves. The waves is coming and going. The watch is created." It's foolish, right? How this such sophisticated watch? This universe is more sophisticated now. So how can we believe that big bang happened and then this is created? This beautiful, wonderful creation happened. Everything is so perfectly arranged that the souls will exactly little suffer, little enjoy, and then they realize. Not too much. If the sun is little, even for a fraction degree, little, we are all dead. In the ocean, if the pH level is slightly different, all the living entities in the ocean is dead. So that is how perfectly it is arranged. So nothing happens by chance. You know, Newton is a great scientist, we believe, right? He is what is his specialty? Gravity. And then the universe, solar system. He had a solar system model in his house. One of his atheist friend came and is wonderful. Who made it? Newton wants to teach him a lesson. He said, "Oh, Newton.
Yeah.
This is Newton.
Newton.
Yeah. He said, "Oh, it came by. Actually, there was a big sound one day at night. I woke up and I saw this beautiful system is here." His friend said, "What?" That's what he friend also said. "What? You think I'm a fool?" Newton probably said, "I think you're a greater fool because you can't believe this small solar system came by chance, but you believe the big one came by chance." So nothing comes by chance.
So you don't know the rationale behind it, but let's say, example, okay, let me give you a materialistic example. Let's say you withdrew like $10,000 from your bank and you're coming back to your home. Just a hypothetical, don't take it personal. And somebody is following you and he's out your money. All the 10,000 is gone. Right? So you think that could happen by chance. Somebody robbed your money. Right? You needed $10,000 and it's robbed by someone else. And that robber is not in need of the money. It's just his profession to rob. I mean, you can't say that he is more needy, that God gave the money to him or something like that. So what would you call this?
No, this is very simple example, right? You see, in the Shastras, we can explain so many stories in Mahabharata, Ramayana, even the Lord, how he reciprocated devotees. Everything is perfectly explained based on the law of karma. For devotees, it's a reciprocation, the Lord reciprocate. But other people, everything that our Puranas happen, right? Clearly, crystal clear, it is explained. How in the Mahabharata time, Krishna, he saved one chameleon from the well. My daughter can tell so many stories because she actually reading books. This chameleon he saved from the well. It is explained this person was a king in the past. Chameleon is the one that changes colors, right? He was a king, and he gifted a cow to a Brahman. A cow. This tradition, right? They gifted. And this Brahman, this cow, somehow he didn't take care, or it escaped, or he was grazing, and by mistake it went to back to king's court. Yeah, it came back. So then other Brahman was visiting, so he wanted to select. So he selected the same cow, so he gave him that cow. And then later, this first Brahman, he was very pure Brahman. He came, and then somehow, I'm making it short, so they were there, and then he claimed, this my cow. How come you give this to the other Brahman? So he cursed him. So, no, I will give you. So like this, so he's saying, this person said, no, you're changing colors. You gave me first, and then you changed. Although this.
So how would you justify my question?
Yeah, so it is perfect arrangement. He is an instrument of my karma.
No, but now you needed that money.
No, the point is, if anything happened like that, we don't think it's by chance. It's a spiritual person. It's happened by a perfect arrangement, by higher authority. Like for example, Prabhupada.
How would you identify what is?
No, I will perfectly think he is an instrument of my karma.
He's not understanding the karma.
Sorry?
He's not understanding the law of karma, so explain.
Yeah, so the law of karma is that we are related in the past. So I own that money. Or if I, see, there are two things I can react. If I react that no, I'm sinless, that one way you can react. Then what if it's your reaction, then if you just tolerate it, say thank him, thanks for taking away. I realize it sometimes. I'll tell you, I'll send this video to my friend also, he'll realize. One person in New Jersey, he lived 1 year in India. We own a house together. I used his car 4, 5 months, 6 months, 7 months, and then finally he was not coming at all. So finally we sold it, like trading price. Right? So now after I moved here, he came to New Jersey. Okay? He came to New Jersey now. He wants to buy a new car. He has a lot of money. Suresh, I'm not telling lies, I'll send this video to him once. There's a lot of money. But now somehow it is a tricky situation. Now he was forced to register my car in his name. That was the last option for him. He don't like the van, he likes the car. That one was there, the registration expired. I got the Florida license now. I can't register it. I couldn't go to the Christmas. No, he registered, he's using my car. So that is indication that maybe I don't have to come back next life too. God is kindly arranging these things in this life itself. So like this, there are innumerable examples. It's a process of thinking. This is a theory. Then you have to observe and then experiment. Like Prabhupada, his own desire was what to speak of. See, we are materialistic, right? We want so many things for our sake. The pure devotees, they just want to serve Lord. They have no intention for name, fame, nothing, right? His pure intention was to serve the Lord. Even this pure desire to serve the Lord, it was going against his will. His Guru Maharaj, Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur, he told him he should go to the Western world and give this message to make them love God, help them reduce their suffer. So he was thinking, his Guru Maharaj liked the books very much. Sometimes he says, this marble temple we don't need. If you want, you can sell the marble and print books and distribute books. That much love he has for distributing the books. So Prabhupada, he was a pharmacist and all this, very successful material also. He had different plans. He had some factory kind of, but his whole idea is to earn money, print books, go to America, preach, all that. The factory was burnt. He lost everything and nobody supported. And generally, my family, so they are supporting, right? His family was not as so supportive in this also. Then he did everything is by chance, by God's plan, right? God has a plan. Like I was explaining the other day, He puts us devotees in trouble so that we glorify the devotees. If there is no trouble, sometimes we think, I have to do so many things. So He puts them in like a normal person, normal life, so we can take them as an example. He was a normal, he didn't come from sky. If somebody comes from sky and does a miracle and go, oh, he did it, I can't do it. So that's why these devotees come like a normal person. They have a family life, normal life. They go through all this hardship. Still they do it, so they set an example for us. So Prabhupada said, look, he lost all the factory, he raised a wonderful family, but they didn't support. Penniless, now he became sannyasi. He lived in Vrindavan. His whole desire was to, just like, the whole desire was to serve. And he translated Bhagavad Gita and some first canto of Bhagavatam. So many really, he used to pray every night. He used to cry, my Lord, please allow me to serve my Guru. And then someone was saying, after he became successful with all the disciples building in the temple, someone saw his picture in the newspaper. Oh, this man. Every night I used to hear some crying voice. I used to go above the wall and see he was crying in front of Rupa Goswami Samadhi. So everyone was saying their point, but in between I was trying to add some points from logic and reason and science. Right? Few things we discuss is that there are so many laws, LAWS, that implies there is a lawmaker. This is a perfect creation. Somebody who made the painting, who made this painting, who did this carpet designing, right? For everything we look for a designer, artist. A big art, they put some name below it. But who made this? If you take a beautiful rose, who made it? Who designed this in the beginning? So I made the plain design, but who? He copied from the eagle or some bird. But who? So this implies there is a designer. So that's why in the scientific world there is a war going on from many hundreds of years. Okay? Some people think come by chance, some people say there is an intelligent design. There is an intelligent designer behind this perfect creation. So there is a lawmaker because the laws, perfect creator, this creation has perfect creator, that's what I'm saying. Behind this whole, every company there is a big CEO or big, right, writer. So we were establishing common sense, like I'm an owner, I still establish that I'm the owner. So God establishes His ownership in every universe by His authorities, by His representatives. Okay? And everyone serves God. Everything is the energy of the Lord. Like material energy. Even the scientists, when they research the matter, they're actually engaging in this energy only. And that there is controller. That we were saying this logic that the lion controls everything in the forest. We control the lion. Someone controls us. The devatas, higher beings, and there's Lord controls them. So Ishvara Parama Krishna Satchidananda Vigraha Anadir Adir Govinda Sarvakarana. He is the Anadir Adir, he is the beginning. For him there is two options for us. Either to blindly follow the scientific, they say everything, let's assume that everything came by chance. Let's assume there is no creator. Is it intelligent? Or what is common sense saying? Scientists say that life comes from matter. The instruction that my Prabhupada gave to my Guruji is to help the world understand that life comes from life. Is it easy to understand? Not only life comes from life, but the matter also comes from life. Right? The nails come from life. The hair comes from life. So when there is a life, the body grows. But have you seen anything that happening that coming from matter? Combination of matter, is anyone able to create a life? Prabhupada says chicken is a better scientist because it's creating eggs. We are saying so many things. We just take the raw material and mix and match, and we think it's great scientist. But can we produce one sand particle? So that's why, Prabhupada says mosquito is a better scientist. It flies and it will create small mosquitoes. Baby, can a scientist make aeroplanes that they reproduce and make another aeroplane? Right? For everything you ask, they say okay in future. So they say post-dated check. Who cares about this post-dated check? They've been saying so many stories like that. So, in Big Bang, have you ever seen that in India so many terrorists in Pakistan, Taliban, right? They're putting bombs. Are they creating anything after putting bombs? Big Bang means there is a big bomb and then creation happened. So we believe this theory. And Darwin says we came from monkeys. Have you ever seen monkeys become human beings or in between? Transition is going on. They say the whales come from bears. Bears went into ocean eating the fish and it became whale. Darwin theory. Bear. You say how the giraffe. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
This is what Darwin theory means.
I don't know.
This is what Darwin theory. This is what we're reading the book.
Maybe I'm not a science student. I don't know.
So it's good you didn't believe in all that, because it's easy to speculate that monkeys behave like us. So he made up a story because he's an atheist. And according to his theory, how did giraffes came? They were deers at one point of time. They were happy and nicely grazing the grass, and there was a calamity. No more grass. Now they have to survive. To survive, they have to raise their neck and eat the meats, and so they become giraffes.
Slowly.
Yeah. If that is true, then how did the wall in the head evolve for the giraffe? It cannot evolve naturally. It has to evolve at one time. Because otherwise, it is eating there, and for what it has to down. Now, if the wall is not there, head will break. The pressure that it generates. So there are so many things. My Guru Maharaj is a scientist, and he challenged scientists in a conference like this. We are debating so much about creating life from making higher molecules. What if we take all the chemicals existing in that are in the body, and can we combine and make life? Oh, that we can't say. Then why were you thinking about making bigger molecules and smaller molecules? So all this, everywhere they are stuck. They basically we have three choices. Either we simply like the rabbit, when they see the light they close their eyes, that nobody will see me. Ostrich is there, it will put the head in the sand. There is no I know. So that is one approach. Mode of ignorance, but that will not spare us. Okay. Mode of passion is to prove like this stuff, like it alternate theories. Goodness is to surrender to authorities. Listen to God. What is the difficulty? Who else is claiming that he is God? God is claiming he exists. Every religion, every person. It says in America also, it's there in the blood itself. Why they believe God, why they follow the churches and everything. In spite of so much of Kali Yuga advancement, so many atheists are there.
But my question is, we all say God is there because he gives us this, he gives us that.
No, I'm not saying this, I'm saying a reason. I'm saying logic and reason and science. Common sense. Pain exists, that means there is something wrong, we need to correct. The only reason you can say, tell one good reason that why God doesn't exist. Nobody can say this. The thing is, these are they say. These are the alternative theories they come up with for saying that the God doesn't exist. The best alternative theory, miserably fails, is Darwin theory. This is the theory everyone takes shelter.
And he himself says that is right.
Yeah, he himself says Darwin himself miserably failed. Next week we discuss Darwin theory. This is the only theory that can make the atheist breathe.
But even that was
That is failing.
because after he is stealing from every generation, it is like getting with the next. But after us, there is no other thing got evolved,
Right.
so it got failed.
Exactly. See, it's a very good point. And we want to evolve, right? People want to grow tall. Why they are not growing tall? They are going shorter, shorter,
He
shorter.
says from us we were evolved, and from us something should be evolved, but nothing happened. So
Because human existence is also for.
So next week we will talk about Darwin theory. Perfect. I agree with you. The reason we are here means we want to be away from God. We are all enemies of God. We're not.
Because no one said I
perfect
love
enemies.
God because I do chanting of God, I feel pleasure in doing that.
And she said, Mata said some examples of when she does Sankirtan, she feels so much bliss. So, and she felt that God is helping other devotees to come in contact with the Sankirtan movement. Okay, I said an example of how God is trying to. If I can suffer rest of my life, then I will assure that I am burning my sins. Then I can see God in next life. If I continue, so I know definitely calamities are going to come. I'm welcoming the calamities. 2012, rest of the time. It's good if you just can burn. Thank you, Prabhu. That is wonderful. Your observation is good. Yeah. We are all. Nobody should think he is, he's advanced devotee or. Because we have this tinge of.
That includes myself also. That's what I said. Because my answer is I got 8 on 10 things, 2 which I don't get.
But another way of him explaining you is, when you become devotee, you don't see anything separate from God. In the beginning, now we are negative. In the beginning we try to come to zero. At least let me stop sins. Let me be neutral. But that is not the goal of life, being neutral. The goal of life is to become positive. Now you're walking and you saw some 500 note, $100 bill. Oh, it's not mine. Oh, you walk away. Or maybe you should put in the pocket. Now as soon as you find something, you put in the pocket. That is one stage. Second stage is not mine. Third stage is you pick it up. Whose is this? So similarly, in spiritual path also, there are people who in the name of religion also they try to do sense gratification. In the middle there are people who give up things and go to Himalayas, this and that, Vairagya, this and that. But the Vaishnavas, the devotees who follow the Bhagavad Dharma, they see everything should be engaged in service of God. So this opulence in this world is Lakshmi. What is Lakshmi doing in the spiritual world? What does she do, Lakshmi?
She is serving God.
She is serving God. So what devotees believe is all our opulences should be engaged in service of God.
Is getting Mehndi and the other Lakshmi is serving Lord Vishnu.
Yeah.
Can you put me can you come on my tongue?
Apart from what you
So I want to ask a question.
YouTube.
Daddy, I want to ask
Want to use
a
this?
question. Daddy, can I ask a question, Daddy?
No, I feel very uncomfortable.
No, we have to hear. What if it's a nice... You don't understand that last week that Mataji, she made a new resolution by listening to one example. This is just preaching. You know what? What we're doing here is doing 10%. But when the 90% of this thing, because you don't understand the power of this media. This is an example. We want to use everything in service of God. We want to purify Google and YouTube, everything also. So please.
Flying
See, where flying saucers exist, people have seen it. Many people have recorded. Millions of people have recorded it. Okay, but these are exceptions. The point is, in what you explained, that The Vedic science is much more subtle. And we are getting into gross. Gross means like matter. The mind is so powerful, right? The mind can take you to India. Can you go with the body? Suddenly now if you think you can stay in your hometown, right? Can you? So that's the power of mind. But the body cannot. So the more ancient you are, more Vedic you are, the more subtle it is. They can also fly, but they don't need fuel, landing, takeoff, seat belts, pilot, no. Subtle siddhis. Okay? The more you become gross, you have become gross, and technology is more sophisticated, more dangerous. The more comforts it gives, that much difficulties also it gives. It is advanced. In the name of advancement, it gives pollution. Everything is polluted here. So, in the demons also, Patala, they are also very sophisticated. They have MP3 players. Narad Muni said, he went to Patala, he said, the music is coming from box. There is no sun, but they have lights. Jewels.
No, but Daddy, in olden days, they used to not have lights or anything.
Right.
They used to use lamps.
So what that means? Use lamps, you may happily sleep by sunset. Very healthy life. You get up before sunrise.
Yes.
No trouble. No cell phone. Nobody will call you 24/7 support. You don't have to go to mall. Everything is grown in one village. Doctor is right there. First of all, there is no diseases. So the type of diseases they had and now same thing. Sophisticated. What advancement we made? Last 20 years there are 40 new diseases. People died that time only. Now also people are dying. So this is another way to analyze. Are we really advancing or we are degrading? 50 years ago, the problems, if you ask in the teacher, what is the problem, teacher? Oh, the kids make too much noise. 25 years ago, we all know they're throwing chalk pieces. 10 years ago, oh, they're actually,
Not studying.
Huh?
10 years ago,
If I shout, they're shouting back. Crazy. Now if you ask, they're getting guns and killing teachers. Security is scanning, child, all these abortions, whatever problems they're facing. So does it mean are we advancing? Are we degrading? See, all this advancement has to bring us peace. That's why people invent, right? It's supposed to bring us peace and happiness, right? Is it bringing peace and happiness or making us miserable? So that is the sign.
everything has plus and minus. Something is making sophisticated.
But net, if you see overall.
Yeah, if you think overall, then you will realize that previous things were definitely
That's the intelligence, right? That's the
achievement.
So in the previous ages, everything is localized.
My sister also.
Simple villages. Everyone has their according to karma they take part and happily live. Focus on God. Everyone simple living, high thinking, no complex things. Now everything is globalized. Some problem, some politician in America will affect some India, some in villager, and he will die. He will hang. Farmer. Is it advancement? Somebody is making some dollar value, some how to not affect dollar value, some effect. In Wall Street, it will affect somewhere else. It's not perfect financial system, not perfect education system. It's hard to suddenly change our way of thinking. But we have to plug out the electricity at least. Let us not feed more and more of thinking this is very advancing. We are not actually advancing.
Do you like mine?
Yeah.
In the name of advancement, in the name of freedom to women, what is happening?
Like mine?
Exploitation.
They are exploiting women. In the name of liberating.
Do you like mine? Every time she says
And everyone is trying to imitate that
yes.
in other countries also.
And Akka. And Amma. Do you like mine?
So I think we'll end here, make it a little